perform the operations by hand, then use a calculator to check your work. So we have lots of things going on in this problem here, so let's jot down our order of operations over on the side. So we're going to work what's inside parentheses or other grouping tools first, and then we're going to do our exponents, and then we're going to multiply or divide going left to right, and then we're going to add or subtract, again going from left to right. So in this problem we've got a little bit of everything, so let's go ahead, look for parentheses that there's something to do inside of. And we just have the one set of parentheses, and we say, yep, sure enough, we can do what's inside those parentheses. So 4 minus 6 is going to give me negative 2. We can also think about that as 4 plus negative 6. It's going to give me negative 2 either way. So since I just worked inside those parentheses, I didn't do anything from the outside, the parentheses need to stay in place, and I'm bringing everything else down with me. I'm going to just copy everything else down, bring it straight on down. Get that 2 exponent and do my divide by 2. So I've done everything that I can do inside the parentheses, so that one's done. And so now let's take a look at exponents. So for exponents, I have a couple of exponents that are going on. I've got this 5 squared, so 5 squared, or 5 to the second power, is going to give me 25. And then I also have negative 2 that's squared. And remember, because the negative is holding on inside the parentheses, that means negative 2 times negative 2, negative times a negative, we know, is a positive 4. Now we want to be careful here. We want to go ahead and keep the parentheses around that 4 because we need to be sure when we write down this minus 3 that was right up above it, we need to be sure that that multiplication that was happening right there also keeps happening right here. Then I also want to go ahead and bring down my divide by 2. Okay, so we've done all of the exponents now. Now we're going to multiply or divide going left to right, and we have both multiplication and division going on, so we want to be sure that we do whatever comes first left to right. So scanning through the problem, I see the multiplying comes first. So negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And I'm just going to bring down the 25 right here. And I'm going to bring down the divide by 2. And now, even though it might be tempting to do 25 minus 12 first, we have to be sure that we take care of this division part. So here we have negative 12 divided by positive 2. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And I'm going to bring down that 25 that started things off. And now I can do my last step. 25 minus 6 is going to equal 19. Now let's take a look and see if our calculator gives us the same thing. So when we pull up our calculator, let me clear out my last problem. We want to be careful to enter everything in very, very carefully, because if we enter information into the calculator wrong, our calculator will do exactly what we tell it to do, even if what we told it to do is wrong. So let's see, we had in our original problem we had 5 squared, so 5 and then the squared key, and then we're going to subtract 3 times, so 3 multiplied by, remember there in the parentheses we had 4 minus 6, 4 minus 6. Then I'm going to close the parentheses, and all of that was being squared, and then finally we had divide by 2. And remember, my calculator knows order of operations, and so it will supposedly do everything in the right order even when we enter the whole problem in all at once. And when we press enter, sure enough we end up with 19 for our answer, just like we came up with when we worked it by hand.